Last week we talked about how it's not enough just to want this relationship with God. We actually have to do things. And we can't just do anything. We have to do the things that matter, the things that Jesus tells us in the Bible. This week we're going to continue that conversation a little more. Think about the things that you want to get better at. Think about things like sports, learning an instrument like guitar or piano. Think about singing. Think about video games like 2K and Madden and Fortnite, things like that. Things that you want to get better at. We all have a desire to want to get better at things that we're already doing or things that we will be doing soon in the future. That's what we're talking about with our relationship with God. Because we don't just believe a checklist of things. We actually believe that these things are what we need to apply in order to help our relationship grow with God. That's what we're talking about this week. Throughout my life, I've had a ton of people come in and out of my life. There have been so many people that have been very important to my growth as a Christian, as a believer. And one person that I can remember really well, his name was Gus. And he was a youth pastor. And I was about 17 at the time. And I had pretty much kind of given up on at least what I thought I believed in God. Like I knew I believed in God, but I was kind of done with doing things and going to church and that sort of thing. And I had actually veered way off of what I believed when I was a younger kid. But Gus really did something different. He never gave up. He always looked to show me how God could be working in my life. He always looked to bring me to the next thing, even if I wasn't like all sold in for it just yet. And eventually, it worked. I remember very vividly this moment where God just entered my life and I had remembered what I believed and I had begun to really understand what it meant to be a believer, what it meant to be a Christian, what it meant to have this relationship with God. And so that's a relationship that I really valued because Gus really helped me. He really helped me get back on track with God. Gus helps me move in the right direction. And just like people can help us move in the right direction, there are also people that can move us in the wrong direction. And I have plenty of people in my life like that too. People that I eventually had to kind of cut out of my life because it just wasn't helpful. It just wasn't good for my relationship with God. It wasn't good with my relationship with other people. It just wasn't a good situation. You know that these people can affect you in a positive way, and you know that some of them can affect you in a negative way. I believe we all know that. So the question is, how do we work with God to move in the right direction with our relationships? And that's kind of where we're going to talk. That's where we're going to land today. And I simply just want to share 2 verses with you today that can really help you and reiterate what I'm saying about these relationships. The first one is in Proverbs, and it's chapter 13, verse 20. It says this: "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." Essentially, the people that you spend to choose your life with will either help you out or it'll harm you. It'll help your relationships or it could harm them. And not just relationships with God. It can hurt your relationships with other people, with your parents, with someone that you count as significant in your life. It can help or it can harm those relationships. The second verse is this: "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." 1 Corinthians 15:33. And this verse is saying essentially, if you want to be moving in a better direction, hang out with the people who want to do the same thing. Be with those people who also want to move in the right direction. And I know that this can sound a little bleak for some of us, because some of us really do have friends that we love to hang out with, that we think are fun or funny or anything like that. Some of us have relationships that just aren't good for us. And honestly, we know that. We know they're not good for us because we see how they affect our behavior. We see how they affect our relationships. We see how they affect all these areas of our lives. And so we know. We know that these are bad. And the main point of this entire message is that God uses people to move our faith. Whether it's in a good direction or a bad direction, people will help move your faith. They will guide you in a certain direction. And so you have to choose which direction you want to move in. And I don't know about you, but I want to move in a positive direction. I want to move in the direction that grows my relationships, that helps me get better. That's what I want to do. See, we have to be intentional about the relationships we put ourselves in. We have to be intentional about the environments that we let ourselves be involved in. And it's not just other people. Because the truth is that you're also one of these people. You're either someone who moves another person in the right direction, or you're someone who moves them in the wrong direction. I try really hard to be the person that moves people in the right direction. I know I can joke a lot. I know that I can sometimes be less serious than other people want. But I do really try to be a person that moves people in the right direction with God. So that's all I have for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss anything else coming this week. Make sure you do follow us on Instagram because I do post a shortened version of these videos over there every week. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.